Hi everybody, it's Mary with Restoration Fitness, a company that works with people virtually or in person to work on issues like chronic pain, balance issues, strength, mobility, and power. So today I want to talk about one of the tools that I use for many clients of all sorts of ages, and that is corrective exercise. So what is corrective exercise? In a nutshell, it is retraining your brain through your nervous system to make the right muscles move the right parts of your body in proper mechanical balance. Why is that so important? Because a lot of chronic pain results from mechanical stress in the body that has resulted from an injury, a chronic illness, or maybe just the way someone was born. So let me give you an example. I have a client who repeatedly was spraining her ankle as a young adult. She went on to be a very significant track person. In fact, she got a scholarship in college to run track, but kept injuring her ankle over and over again. 30 years later, I'm seeing her as a person with chronic back pain, and from learning how to assess a body from a movement specialist perspective, I was able to target the fact that a lot of her low back problems were related to the function of her ankle that had been damaged 40 years prior. So I put together a corrective exercise program for her that retrained her nerves in her legs to make the right muscles do the work of walking, that eliminated the mechanical stress in her knee and her hip and her low back, which eliminated her back pain. So that's pretty significant. Who is the typical corrective exercise client? A lot of times, older people have had some significant damage in their body from auto accidents. They oftentimes have perhaps fallen, and they're not moving in the proper pattern of muscles driving those bones. That person can be a corrective exercise person. Somebody who's got chronically flat feet and they get so doggone tired when they're walking, or they have knee pain if they're out walking a lot, that's a corrective exercise person. How about the person who has gone to multiple medical practitioners for, again, back pain as an example, and the help that they get is only short-lasted, and then those same pains come back to them in their back, making them pretty desperate and wondering if life is going to be like that forever. That's where corrective exercise comes in. So, corrective exercise is helping the body learn to no longer make weaker muscles that are not meant to move the hip, but re-educating the body to make the right muscles move the hip, eliminating any stress in the body, and resulting in no pain. The next question comes up. So, is corrective exercise just doing bicep curls to strengthen my arm, or do I need to do more squats so that I'm more stable as I walk? No. Corrective exercise is something that has been taught to movement practitioners to look at a body in motion and determine where those compensations or improper movements have occurred, and knowing the background of that person, creating exercises that will retrain the nervous system to make the right muscles work at the right time with the right amount of force to move the right bones so the body is back in balance. And once again, we are moving without pain. So who provides corrective exercise? As I just mentioned, it is someone who is trained as a movement specialist, such as myself, to be able to really look at the body and say, based on this data, which is very scientifically driven, of how your hip is moving or your ankle is moving or whatever that may be, or how your body is twisted above your pelvis, that helps the movement professional figure out the proper corrective exercises to eliminate that compensation and get the body back in balance. So it's a person with a trained eye and the knowledge of which assessments for movement to allow that client to go through, and then someone who has the expertise of knowing the corrective exercises that will assist the body to move the way it's supposed to move. So let's summarize it all up. Corrective exercise is not what you learn from a typical group exercise instructor or personal trainer. It is something that you receive as far as assistance from a movement professional who has an eye that's trained to look at your body and figure out where the weak areas are as far as mechanics, and who knows what exercises will re-educate the nervous system to make your body move the way it's supposed to. So corrective exercise is a big deal for many, many people who've been in pain for a long time. It can really be life-changing because finally someone found the reason that the person is feeling so bad and helping them help themselves to move the way the body is meant to move. So that's corrective exercise, a very powerful tool assuring mobility and stability for the person who's receiving that care. And remember, it takes someone who's got the credentials to know how to assess the body and correct the body. So that's all about corrective exercise from Mary with Restoration Fitness, a company that strives to make the second half of life the very best half of life. Thanks so much, and I'll be back with you again soon.